All right, we're live. Mayakoba Classic. Tom Jacobs of Odd Checker, Lost for Words. An absolutely cracking bloke. An absolute top bloke from North London town. Pleasure to be joined by you tonight, Tom. How you doing?
You went almost a little bit like Donald Trump there. It feels like.
was that the accent I was giving off?
Yeah, it felt a little bit like that. I feel like it was if he tried English, that's what it would sound like.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. How's things with you?
Everything's good, Tom. The reason I had you on this week is because there's no DP World Tour, and I just wanted your full attention on the PGA Tour. I can't have you touting Richie Ramsey at 18-1 on the DP World Tour. I needed full attention from you on the DP World Tour. So do I have that from you this week? Are you sad with no DP World Tour?
No, I'm absolutely fine with it. It's been one of those ones where I love doing the show with Sky and I love doing it as part of the Lost Words betting podcast, right? But I'm ready for a break from the DP World Tour. It's been a shit show for a long period of time now. The fields they get, the odds that you get on players that have a chance to win. I was putting all my hopes on 20-1 Eddie Pepperell. What? How am I going to get excited about that? It's just not a thing, right? So the DP World Tour is basically a shower of shit right now, and we just have to live with it. But I love this event, and it was quite funny.
Okay.
I was looking through. Right. I was looking through the commitments on, and I kept seeing Hovland, obviously defending champion, Morikawa, Scotty, and I was sitting there thinking, I literally put a tweet out saying what a stacked field or something, thinking it was really exciting. And then the actual field came out, and it was literally just those five guys. And I was like, fair enough. I look a little bit stupid now, but I still think it's pretty well, presented.
Yeah, no, I was a little bit disappointed with the field. Just I thought it would be a better field than it is, but it's not that bad for the swing season. We have some guys up top, and the mid range, those other guys, that's they're fine. These are not outrageous prices, in my opinion, on some of these guys that are 30 to 50, for the caliber of player that they are. So I'm fine with the field. I think last year's event was just really good considering the field that they had, and they were never going to get that again. But I'm excited that I only have to do 2 more pods this year, 2 more articles, 2 more 6K plays. I'm just done. I'm just done writing up 6K plays for the swing season. It's just I just need a little bit of a break. So I know this might be upsetting to a lot of people, but there will be no QB shootout content from me. Probably no Hero World Challenge content from me. I just need there's really no breaks in golf content. So November to December, we're hitting the gym, we're counting calories, we're finding the love of our lives, we're starting new TV shows. That's what I'm trying to do for this November to December period. I'm really trying to get my life in check because, as you know, Tom, being a full-time golf podcaster, it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of your obligations, and it's hard to live a fulfilling life when you're grinding strokes game data, each and every day. So we're towards the end. We've reached kind of the breaking point of the golf season.
I think it gets worse when last week I was desperate for Aaron Baddeley not to win just because a few weeks ago I said that Aaron Baddeley could win again and I didn't bet him. That's how sad things have got. Interestingly, I've basically drawn a line. Once the RSM is finished, on the 20th of November. I think there's a DP World Tour final, maybe the week after, and then I am done. I'm not doing any Hero World Challenge, not doing QB Shootout, I'm not doing previews of the DP World Tour for next season. I think I'll have a couple of conversational pieces with people for the podcast and things like that. But I think November, December needs to, be a hard stop, right? We've actually got the World Cup to look forward to. I don't know how much.
Oh yes,
you will watch.
I'm going to turn into a World Cup tout. once it like I'm going to be a World Cup talent. Like I'm going to be giving out plays. I'm going to be like making up shit about like the Argentinian defense. Like I cannot wait for the World Cup. Like I enjoy soccer, like football, whatever you want to call it.
I'm fine with it. It's okay.
Like I'm pumped for the World Cup.
So there used to be we've got Betfair over here, which I think you've got kind of profit exchange now in like New Jersey, which is a similar sort of thing, right? And you get some like outrageous odds. And I remember back to like I think it was like 2012 or 2014. I think I picked a couple of players before the off that were 1,000 to 1 to be the top goal scorer, and one of them scored a hat trick in one game. One of them scored 2 goals, another, and I was getting really, really excited, and they both just came crashing out. And that's the sort of thing that I get excited about for the World Cup, just picking these obscure right wingers for Switzerland that might actually have a chance of being top goal scorer. So, I will probably turn into a failed soccer tout during November and December as well. But I think it's great. Like, I mean, you guys have obviously got a great amount of sports throughout the Christmas period anyway, but over here, like we get nothing really. So pretty excited for that. But we've got a couple of decent events, I think, before we finish off, right?
And we'll have some like beef between us when like the US and England play together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're gonna be like rooting against each other, and then like you guys are gonna like lose to Iran and Wales. Like I know the pools, okay? Like you might have came on here and said like Brian doesn't know dick about soccer. No, like we're full into the World Cup like this year. Like I'm hyped. I really like Germany. I think Germany's gonna win. That's kind of my dark horse. Like that's my pick. But I got to run some models. I got to do some things. So we'll come back with some World Cup content. I know everyone's jonesing for it. But yeah, I'm excited. But I have some business associates in London, and we were together at a conference in San Diego like a month or two ago, and we were talking about the World Cup, talking about things, and they were saying how World Cup like during the winter like sucks in Europe because Europe like London, whatever, because normally it's in the summer, you leave work at 3, you go out for a pint, it's nice out, like the sun's shining. Like now it's like November and it's cold and like there's a different atmosphere, right? Given that
so basically the reason that is because we all turn into like summer alcoholics as soon as there's any football, right? So like imagine, like, I'm sure you've watched Green Street or Hooligans, whatever it's called over there. Like that's what everybody turns into during the World Cup in the summer. So they all go down to the local pub, but they have a few beers, they go home, England lose, everyone gets really angry. All these horrible reports come out of domestic violence because we all just can't handle.
That's really like not a good look.
No, it's not good. So I actually think it's good fun that there's going to be one in the winter. Now everyone's got their problem with it being in like Qatar, right? But like, and this all goes with everything, like it's the same with live, right? But the fact that I've actually got something to enjoy leading up to Christmas, I think is quite exciting. Okay. Like, I hate waking up in the dark and coming home from work in the dark, and if I can at least watch some soccer in that time, great. So I haven't really worked out what the kickoff times and stuff are yet in terms of the time difference, but I'll figure it out, and we can have a few calls and have some beers when England and USA are on.
I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. I'm trying to get into the Premier League a little bit, trying to get into that. My brother, who he's not a fan of TIB. Where people like I'm not like my brother and I are close, but we're not like texting all the time. Like I could be closer with my brother, and he's a massive Liverpool fan. Like he loves Premier League, loves soccer, and when they played Man City like a couple weeks ago, I like hammered Man City, and I was like, yo, like Liverpool's like trash. Like Liverpool is like not good. Like Man City, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then obviously Liverpool won. Like I lost money, whatever. And like me and my brother were texting. I'm like, I haven't talked to my brother like this much in like a really long time. Like I think I need to get into the Premier League because I think that would just be good for my relationship with my brother. But I don't know. I need to like pick a squad. I can't pick Liverpool because like I want to like be against my brother, and then I can't be Man City because that's like basically live. Like that's the Saudis. Like they're sport washers. So like out on Man City, and then like maybe like Chelsea. So we'll figure it out.
I have the perfect solution for you, right?
Yeah.
So Nottingham Forest are terrible. Okay, it has been 23 years since we got into the Premier League. We are now back. Getting back into the Premier League was actually the best day of my life. And I know I should probably say when I proposed to Shannon and things like that, but that was the best day of my life, right? We have won twice this season, and it was against West Ham and Liverpool. We lost 6-0 to Manchester City, 4-0 to Leicester, 5-0 to Arsenal.
So you beat Liverpool, like that was a pretty big upset.
And beat Liverpool. And they were shit. So I feel like that is the best opportunity for you to attack your brother, right? In a fun way. And our mascot is Robin Hood, which is just great. So I think there's the chief at Barstool is a Forest fan as well. So, there's definitely some ties that you can get into. I'm sure there's some there's a New York based Forest fan group as well.
Oh, sweet. We're going to be checking them out in the big city, going out 100%. But enough football talk. Let's get into Mayakoba. Been going here a while. 1 second. Let me just get this link up. Why is my computer so slow tonight? I don't know what's going on. Either way, Mayakoba. Am I frozen?
You're frozen on my end, but I can hear you.
All right. We should be good.
There we go.
All right. I think we're back. We're back. I can't I don't know why I can't do things on my computer. It's messing it all up. We'll get that figured out. But Mayakoba, what are your overall thoughts of the event? What are your overall thoughts on the course? Like, what are you looking for this week? Have you had success at this tournament before? Like, what are your overall thoughts on the Koba?
I have a memory of a goldfish, right? And basically, whenever I think of Mayakoba, I think I've done really well. And probably when I look back, it's probably not as good as I think, right? But I do really enjoy it. I think when people think of it, they think it's, because it's a week after Bermuda now, they think a short coastal track, and it's basically the same sort of test. But there's a little bit more. There's like jungle and mangroves and stuff like bordering the course. It's not typically coastal all the way around.
Yeah.
I think you've got to look at like Corrales, Puerto Rico, Mexico Open for the Paspalum greens. I love like Sony Open and things like that as a bit of a link. But generally speaking, right, you see the same guys turn up here every year. And what I do like about it is because there is those 5 or 6 top guys in it, you get some value on these 50 to 1, 60 to 1, 100 to 1s who generally can win the tournament because like last week, distance doesn't just kill it. So for 20, 30 events a year, you have to be a 300-yard driver, right? But this week, like Matt Kuchar can win. He's not going to, but he can win. So to me, I think that makes it quite exciting. So it's a Greg Norman course. There's not too many Greg Norman courses on the PGA Tour anymore. It's short. It forces you to lay up. And people see that and they think that you can't go with a big hitter because you're negating their best tool and things like that. And I get that. But what you've got to think about is the fact that when they lay up, they're laying up much further than everybody else. Yeah. So ultimately, I think long hitters can do well here as well. But I like the fact that it levels the playing field.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think that the past 2 years kind of skews people's perception of the tournament and who can succeed here. Because I think a lot of the time, in the industry, everyone does it. I do it. Is that you look at the winners and then you try and find a kind of common trait between them. Yeah. And when you have back-to-back winners of Brendan Todd and Matt Kuchar, and the course is 7,000 yards, that is a short plotter's course. That it is like your Pebble, your Sony, your Sedgefield. Like you kind of put into the same bucket. But then you have Victor Hovland winning the past 2 years. You have Matt Wolff being the first round leader here last year. And it's kind of, it might not get that rep anymore or get that like initial thought from, the betting public. So I think it's really interesting because I think that Hovland winning the past 2 years, like just kind of skews people. But obviously Hovland is a very elite driver of the ball. He's very accurate off the tee. But I do think that it is in the same boat as your shorter positional accuracy off the tee, a lot of wedges, got to go low. Like that's the type of course it is. That's, what I'm looking for. So I'm excited for this week. Top of the board, 20-1 and below. Scotty Scheffler, 10-1. Hovland, 11-1. Collins, 16. Billy, 18. Tony, 18. Wise, 20. So, of those 6 guys, I know we both landed on Tony Finau as our first selection. So, I, as you do as well, I love Monday mornings because I love for the odds to come out. And since we do this every week, we have a pretty good, perception of what is a good number, what is a bad number, what these guys should be priced at.
Yeah.
When odds come out, and Tony Finau is 20-1. And that's just, to me, an initial misprice for Tony Finau being 20-1 in this field when you look at the other guys at the top of the board. Obviously, Tony had a spectacular summer of golf, winning back-to-back events, some other really great results mixed in there. And then you have kind of a bunch of other top guys that there's a lot of question marks about. Scotty Scheffler just really hasn't been the same since that spring, where he just kind of went nuclear. Hovland, I don't think people are rushing to bet him at 10-1. He's not going to win 3 in a row. Colin, has been, pretty lost with the putter. So I think Tony was just a pretty natural landing point at 20-1. Now, I don't think this is the absolute greatest course fit in the entire world, and Tony Finau dominates on pass, pal, and greens, but there is something to be said for just betting the number. And, a few weeks ago, being, wary of this stuff, Tom Kim opens up at 30-1 at the Shriners. I'm like, okay, he shouldn't be 30-1. This is a misprice. And he goes out and wins. So sometimes you have to take, I think Tom Kim was a better course fit here than Tony is at Mayakoba, but sometimes you just have to bet the number and just trust it. So I'm rocking with the 20-1 on Tony Finau.
So he made his debut here in 2014, I think it was. And he wasn't the player that he is now, right? And he finishes 7th on that first debut, opens with a 65 to round 1 lead, closes with a 65 to finish 7th, sorry. Then he finishes 16th. He's also got an 8th here where he was 2nd going into the weekend. So ultimately, he plays really well here. And if you think back to Puerto Rico, that was his first win, right? And everyone kind of goes, he's not very good because he won Puerto Rico. But for this instance, it's actually a really good thing that, that he has done that. So to me, I looked at it like I really wanted to bet Aaron Wise. And then I looked at it and Tony Finau and Aaron Wise are the same price. I'm not, what are you doing? It's pretty easy. So the only downside to Tony Finau is the layoff, right? He hasn't played this season. Yeah. But I looked, and par 4 performance is basically key, right? I think, I think no one outside of any winner here hasn't finished outside the top 7 in terms of par 4 performance. So when you look at that, I think Tony Finau's 56 under par over the last 6 months in par 4s. And it's just, it's not even close as to who the next one was. 57 under par, I've taken one off of him as well. So that, and the fact that he's played well in the past, I think Tony Finau makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it's just a pure bet the number play. He's first in strokes gained in this field over the past 50 rounds. He's, in my opinion, had the best year of anyone in this field. So, not Scheffler, but just recently over the past few months. So 20-1, you bet it. You just take the number. I think it's fine play. I think Wise, it's just a shame he's always so priced down. You just can't catch a break on him. And, he's a fine play, but he's literally been in contention on Sunday one time, over the past year at the Memorial. And he's just at these ridiculous prices and hasn't won since 2018. I think we're for Aaron Rodgers, first round leader. He should have been it last year, and Wolf went nuclear. But yeah, love Wise, first round leader. I bet him first round leader every single week. But yeah, I'm Wise. I don't think he's gonna win, but I like a first round leader play.
So
I get a 40-1.
I put him first round leader on Odds Checker at 35-1, right? And it's it's double his outright price. It's probably what he does really when you look at it. I think he's shot a 63 here 4 times or something ridiculous. So he really does love the golf course, and It's been a first round 63 where he lost to Matthew Wolff, like you said. He's had a final round 63 last year to go in contention. He had a Saturday 63 to finish like 10th, I think, one year as well. So ultimately, like he will hit that score at some point this week, I'd have thought, the way he's playing. And hopefully it's just on Thursday. If he doesn't and he goes on to win, fine. I think what I have to do at the top of the board most weeks is I have to make a judgment of whether I'm okay for those players to win at their prices. So I don't care if Scotty Scheffler or Victor Hovland win at 10-1. I'm never going to bet that. Not in a PGA Tour event. Colin Morikawa 16-1, fine. Like he is playing a little bit better now, and it should be a good course fit, but we don't know that. And then it was Tony Finau and Billy Horschel, and I thought Billy Horschel was slightly shorter than I wanted him to be. Like I'm used to betting Billy Horschel at like 40-1 and things like that. So I just went with Finau, and I don't think the market is overreacted in the way that I thought they would with Finau. Like he's had those 2 wins, and he's the same price as he was when everyone was saying he couldn't win. Like I think it's a good price. Yeah,
no, it's a good price, and I'm fine with Tone. And I think why is kind of looking at it just macro betting sense. It's like it's been a profitable bet not to bet Aaron Wise outright. Like I think historically, like it's been good to just avoid him in the outright market. You haven't been missing anything. No. Whereas Tony Finau, again, small sample size, but he has been a profitable bet at 20-1 in like weaker fields. So I'm fine with decision. Kind of in like that 30-1 range, like moving down the board a little bit. Like I personally think Tom Hoge is like the easiest, like most obvious, like everything lines up bet of the week. I got a 35-1 on him. I bet it. He was definitely someone that was on my radar because just the way that he's been playing, and then you get him at a great course fit, again, shorter positional course with a lot of wedges. And his last 4 starts are 10th, 12th, 4th, 9th, 13th, dominating the swing season, gaining a bunch on approach, putting well. Like, it just makes a lot of sense, Tom Hoge, this week. Like, it is just kind of right there for the taking. So, again, sometimes these obvious plays have been doing well, so I have no problem backing Hoge this week.
He's perfect for this. And the only reason I didn't bet him is because he's had that 1 3rd-place finish, hasn't he, here? And then otherwise, he's actually been pretty poor. Like, he's 56, 60. But, and I kind of ruled him out quite quickly, and it's because I had 2 other guys around here, and we'll come on to them in a minute. But, like, I've probably got to look a bit further into it, and what was his form like coming into those weeks? Like, is the 3rd-place finish in 2020 more akin to what he's doing now? Then it's probably right. Because, like you said, there's probably not a better fit for Tom Hoge. I guess maybe you can argue the Pascal Greens or whatever, but you look at how well he's done at the Sony Open and things like that, and I kind of correlate the two. Tom Hoge makes a ton of sense. So you've got this range here. I mean, you've got a bunch of second, stage guys, I guess, with Hoge, Grillo, Harmon, McNeely, Montgomery, Dietrich. Like they're all probably without Harmon. I don't really see the reason to back Harmon, but like they've probably all got cases to be made for them.
Definitely. Grillo's been playing unbelievable. He's been playing some really good golf. Like he makes a lot of sense. And like, again, it's not like the absolute worst. Like it's not the absolute worst numbers in the entire world.
No,
like, these are like very fair. Like I the only person that I completely like would never ever bet. And like it's a cheap shot like that. DraftKings opened up Mav McNeely at 18-1. Like no one's actually betting that, but Mav is another person that just like you're not gonna go broke like not betting Mav McNeely outright. Like you're just not missing anything.
I think long term, right? Like everyone knows that Aaron Wise is probably gonna get back to what he was like in his rookie season, and he will win again, and it probably could be at this golf course. And Maverick McNeely will win at some point soon, and you probably won't get a great number on it because the sportsbooks are protecting themselves from that. So, and the same way in like Taylor Montgomery as well, like no one's really taking a chance on him. So I guess my argument is like Thomas Dietrich's been like phenomenal since he's come back on the PGA Tour, right? And he's kind of priced at 40, and like McNeely's 18. I mean, he's not 18 generally. You can get 30s and 40s, but like, I find that a really difficult line to take between the two. Like, I know Dietrich doesn't win on the DP World Tour, which I've just said at the start of the show, holds him back. But, 40's one about him compared to 18's one on DraftKings is really weird for for Dietrich versus McNeely. So if you can put a match bet in there, I think it's probably quite a good way to
yeah. So what's the deal with Dietrich? Like, I've bet him this swing season. Like, I'm not gonna like say I followed him like for his whole career, and like I know like, but all I know is that I bet him at the Sanderson. No, not at the Sanderson. I don't know. Where did he? Was it at the Sanderson he played well? Yeah, it was at the Sanderson. He played well.
He's played well at most, doesn't he?
And then I backed him last week 30-1. Again, he shouldn't be 30-1. He almost backdoors his way into it. Like, is he real? Like, Jeff calls him like the European like Finau. That might be a little bit outdated with Tony Finau being a prolific winner. But like, does this guy seriously like just straight up not win? But he's always in contention, and you should always bet him with an each way.
Yeah, so he doesn't win. He's probably not as good as Tony Finau, even in relation to how good he is on the DP World Tour versus how good Finau was on the PGA Tour, right? Like, he's just not as consistent. But, second at the Scottish Open, he lost the playoffs, second at the Hero Open, second at the Celtic Classic, second at the BMW International. He's had so many seconds. Like, it's just, the only win he's ever had is on the Challenge Tour, which...
Really? He's never won on the DP World Tour?
No, and that's why, and that's why I think you can still get a number on him. And like, it's quite funny because I see all these people that want to bet Dietrich, and you keep seeing the guys that follow both tours going like, "Oh, you just wait and you'll be lifted out."
No,
and it's true. Like, you probably will be, but I do think that the number, and I say this about quite a few players, I don't think there's much difference between him winning a DP World Tour event and him winning a PGA Tour event. I think, like, mentally, I think he's just going to have the same problem at both. So I'd rather take him at a bigger number on the PGA Tour, because if he's going to come back on the DP World Tour in a few weeks' time and be like 12-1 or 16-1 or whatever, and still have the same problem. So if I can take him at 40-1 in a field where, he's got a few superstars in there that are probably not going to, two of those guys are probably not going to, feature, are they? So unless he comes toe to toe with Hovland or Finau, whatever, down the stretch, you'd probably give him a chance. And I'm pretty sure he was like 22nd or something here last year as well.
Yeah, he played here. He knows the course. But yeah, I got a 55-1 on him. That was enhanced on Bet365 early Monday. I mean, like, literally, like, all I do on Monday is just like try and get like the best number. So like, I usually get like what I want. And Bet365 is just a great book, and it was really odd. I don't know if you saw what happened, but he opened at 50 on Bet365, and then obviously you get the enhanced win, so you can't cash out, but you get 5 points. So I bet the 55. And then obviously I wasn't like scouring Bet365, but then he went down to 30-1, and then Bet365 boosted him back to fit. Like, it just made no sense. Like, they should just, it was just odd. But yeah, I bet the 55, like, again, like, the number's off. Like, it's a good number on a guy that's been playing absolutely superb over, the swing season. I don't, know his game well enough to say he has a specific course fit, but he seems to kind of do it on all these courses. And I know that he makes a lot of birdies. And I don't know. Let's roll the dice. I'm still, I'm not, super scarred by Dietrich yet. And he's giving me good sweat. So just hammer a top 5 and forget about it.
The thing is, I don't really know what Thomas Dietrich is yet, and I've been watching him for like 5-6 years. Like, even on the DP World Tour, you could never really put a pin on where he was going to play well. Like, he just does it, right? Okay. I just think talent wins out, right? So I think that he's a little bit, I mean, it's a lazy comparison, but like Peters, he's a little bit volatile, but Peters has got that ability to get over the line, and Dietrich hasn't yet. So,
but it's going to happen this week. So, like, I'm fine about it.
There you
go. Do you have any FOMO on not backing him? Or no, like, you're totally let him beat me.
Yeah, like if he wins, great, and I'll actually be happy for him because I think he deserves it. And I've got to the point of the season now where I'm like, I can't be bothered to get upset when people beat me anymore. Like, it's just going to happen. And
I'm like, also like massive like the narrative kind of changed. Like, for a couple of weeks, it was President's Cup snubs, and now it is Ryder Cup fringe player.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you're a Ryder Cup fringe player, like, you're out there, like, you're trying to win, like, you're more likely to win a tournament if you're on the fringe of the Ryder Cup. I don't make the rules.
We need him.
It's just what's going. Need him. They need him.
Like, we literally need him right now. Like, I was looking at last year's Ryder Cup team, and we've got like 4 players left, and they're the best 4 players. We've got like Rory, John Rahm, Hovland.
No, you have like a very good 7.
But like, yeah, Fleetwood's not doing it. Like Fitzpatrick is great, but hasn't done it at the Ryder Cup yet. Like Hatton is.
Yeah, but he's a U.S. Open champ, bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's brilliant. Like, I'm hoping he'll be good, and he should be. Like Italy should be great for him. But like,
what's your take on Sepp? Like, he needs to be on the team or what?
No, I don't think he needs to be on the team. But I think it'd be good. Like, I think if he
genuinely, like, he is like really like high gold. Like, he is truly like either like just putting it on for like a 3-4 week stretch, or he's like genuinely like god awful. So like, if he's good towards. Then but there's a very good chance like he could miss 8 cuts in a row, like he literally did this year and just missed the Ryder Cup. But I would like to see him out there.
With him, and like the fact that we are worrying whether Seamus Power or Sepp Straka play well enough to get on the Ryder Cup team suggests we're not in a very good place. Is what I would say. Like I think the thing is like the main nucleus of before Liv and all that happened, the main nucleus of our team was gone anyway. Like Westwood, Coulter, Sergio, like they were past it anyway. Like they'd already shown that. Whistling Straits or wherever it was. So like to me, it doesn't really matter. Like I just don't think we're going to win because the talent is such a different disparity anyway. So we should see. Hopefully people get help. But like the trouble is now the rankings come out and like someone will have a good week and it's like, oh yeah, Sepp Straka on the Ryder Cup team. I'm like, look, there's another year left yet. Like it's probably not going to happen. Like you said, he'll probably miss 10 cuts in between now and then. So
yeah, like I don't like really even like if Seamus is like obviously like whatever happened, like if Seamus is like on the team and he didn't have like an amazing year, like it probably wouldn't really bode well for the Europeans if Seamus Power makes the team.
And let's say he suddenly turns into a really consistent, like he's been good and he's improved.
Yeah, like he had a really good like this time last year. He was really good.
And like he it's impressive what he's done to get back. I listened to an interview of him and it was actually quite interesting that he like basically was just reading his game completely wrong and trying to fix the wrong things and figured it out. But like, yeah, we shouldn't be relying on people like him, and we shall see. That's the worry with the Ryder Cup team.
But we'll get there. Maybe we'll do a little pod, a little Euro versus American. But the next guy you're betting, B. Todd, past champion here, playing some pretty good golf.
Yeah.
I don't think many people expected him to be top 10 at the CJ Cup, which was an absolute brute of a golf course that Rory McIlroy run on. You're backing him 40-1 this week. So what do you like about B. Todd?
To me, he's one of those perfect people that he fits everything, and people don't want to bet him because he's so obvious. Like he's won here in the past. He's finished 8th and 11th since then. He is, I think, been like top 10 in approach the last 2 events. He was 4th at the Fortinet, 2nd at the CJ Cup in approach, 10th and 11th in strokes against Heath Green. Like, what is there not to like? Like, when I looked at it, his first 3 starts here were miscut, 49th miscut. Then he won, finished 8th as a defending champion, and then he finished 11th last year when he was in god-awful form. Like, he was like, he finished 22nd at the Fortinet, but then missed the cut, and then finished 62nd in the Zozo in the 78-man field. This time, he's coming in just, like, great form, really, for Brendan Todd. Like, miscuts don't really bother me with Brendan Todd like every other week because he just can't win at certain golf courses, right? So if he's had 2 top 10s already this season and a 28th at the Shriners with a fine around 65, now comes to a golf course where it's the first time he's not been a defending champion and the next time that he's been in form. I think there's a lot to like about Brendan Todd. So it doesn't feel great. And I seem to remember maybe a year ago, I sort of said that Brendan Todd's never going to do what he'd done in 2019 ever again. But, he's done it once and I don't see why he can't do it again.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a horse for course. Like, he just plays really well here and he's in good form. And I think that, when I kind of started betting on golf, it's like really like course history, recent form, put him together and bet him. Like, that's kind of, so I think he's a good example of it. I think people will just have a lot of hesitation with him because he's older and he's 45-1 and he hasn't won in 3 years. So it just, but I really don't think it is a bad bet at all. Kind of going down the board a little bit, I'm kind of probably just betting, my 3 guys that I talked about, Hoagie, Dietrich, and Finau, maybe add another guy. Not really sure. But I know that you like Joel Damon. This week you currently get him at 70-1. What kind of struck you about Damon that you like this week?
So I look back so I bet Joel Damon at Zozo, based on the fact that his ball striking, like he was first and 11th in tee screen going into that week, and I think he's a player that is actually a bit underrated after that like win he got last season. And you looked at the Zozo, he goes 68, 67, 66, gets better every round, and then just does nothing in the final round. He'd finished 37th at the Shriners, he finished 13th at the Sanderson Farms. Comes to a golf course, he's made 5 out of 5 cuts, which I don't think is particularly easy at this golf course. I think with the hazards and stuff, it's not the easiest thing to do. Finishes 23rd on debut, 41st the second year, but then 6th in 2019, where he shot 66, 65 over the weekend. He was 20th in 2020, but he was 5th going into the weekend. And he opened up with a 65 last year as well. So you add all that into the fact that he also won in Corrales, which is past Palom as well. I just think there's a lot to like about Joel Damon. I think he's one of those guys that never took it seriously enough, and then all of a sudden he won, and he's like, actually, I could be quite good at this, and it seems to have shown. Like, I think he's got something there. So if you finish top 10 at the US Open and 5th at Riviera and things like that, then top 10 at a PGA Championship as well. Like you're a pretty good player. So I think he's being overlooked slightly.
Love it. I think it's a good play. Are you betting him first round leader?
No, and I
so
really.
How do you make your distinction between guys you like and are betting and first round leader? Because I love betting first round leader. I'm not really. I literally do not know the last time I hit a solo outright leader, but it's just something fun to sweat every week, and it's literally just couldn't be more of this is $100 to my bookie. Just take it because it's not winning. I'll just give you $100 every single week. But if you ever hit, it's gonna be amazing. So I'm really maybe this week a little bit different because no one wants to bet. I'm not betting Tony Finau 25-1 to be first round leader. I'm not doing that. But I generally anyone I'm betting over 30-1. I'm just gonna take them first round leader. I think that is my strategy, at least just given that you like those guys for a reason. You think they're going to play well that week. You think they have a low round in them. You might as well just bet a first round leader because a lot of times you have guys that lead after round 1 and then they kind of fade over the weekend. So you would it's a little bit of a hedge on your outright bet. And then obviously I'll be probably just take some morning guys and just, it's random. Whatever. I'll just bet this guy, bet that guy. But that's kind of my first round leader strategy. Has not been successful. What do you like to do?
So I have a really convoluted first round leader strategy, and it's quite funny because I hit a couple earlier in the season, one of them being Rory McIlroy. So, that's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
JT Poston was the other one. But it's quite funny because there was a report that came out that was analysing all these handicappers, and my name, Tom Jacobs, odds checker, I was 1 star. And I was like, it's not really fair because the only bit of published articles I do is first round leader now, and you can't hit them, right? So that was quite funny. But there's a guy in my office who literally looks at my first round leader picks and then bets them outright because he said that they don't tend to hit. They tend to finish second or third on day 1 and then win. And I was like, great, I'm glad you're having success while I'm losing money on them. But my strategy is and basically I use a software called Tour Tips, and there's a section there called in and out of contention, and you can look at players how many shots they were behind the lead in any given round, right? So I set the parameters at 10 shots ahead and 2 shots behind after round 1. Look at how good they are in round 1 in general. So Rory McIlroy has been within 2 of the lead 100 times in his career. So he's always within an opportunity of getting a first round lead. So I do that. Then I'll look at just what they've been doing in recent weeks. So let's say Harrison Endicott, for example, shot 62 in round 1 last week. He shot 64 in round 3 2 weeks ago, whatever. Just see whether they're just spiking in some rounds, which is always a good sign. And then I just generally look at their history. So Emiliano Grillo doesn't win golf tournaments, but he does get quite close to the first round.
Grillo, first round leader.
Same as Aaron Wise. So I've got Grillo and Aaron Wise.
Done. I know. I like Grillo too. He's been Grillo first round leader. I'm down.
Matt Kuchar is in there first round leader because I think he can just go low.
I don't know.
And
I
then
don't know
what I
about
do,
Cooch, man.
I love Cooch. And then the only thing I don't like about Cooch is that little hovering that he does before he hits the ball. Winds me up.
Yeah.
And then I sort of go with a little bit like you said, just go with some long shots that are early in the morning. So like this week, Garrett Higo and Grayson Sig are both out early.
I like Sig first round leader. I'm down.
Sig's perfect. Like he loves this kind of event. I actually think he should do better here than he did last year. He was 33rd. He shot a fine around 64. So I think he goes low this week. Higo 64 on Sunday last week, 10 birdies and 1 double bogey. Shot a 63 here last year in round 2.
Dude, you're like the thing I love about first round leader, and this is a perfect example of it. Like you can make like the most compelling case, and it makes so much sense, and it's like ridiculous. Truly mean absolutely.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Like I'm always like, yo, like this first round leader is hitting. Like makes so much sense. Like this is the week, and it just like it's always like kind of close. Like it's like, but it's like you need it. It's harder in my opinion. It's harder to hit a first round leader than an hour. Like
the thing is, like the trouble is, my parameters are within 2 shots in the lead, and in my head, that I rationalize that by going, well, if they were within 2 shots at any given time, they were like 1 birdie or 1 bogey away from really contending for the first round lead, right? So anything could have happened. And then what I find is I just pick a load of golfers that finish 2 shots behind every week. So maybe I should probably change that strategy a little bit. But I guarantee there is no one that spends more time researching the hardest market in the world than me, and it doesn't pay off. So I would say proceed with a little bit of caution in terms of how much detail you go into, and probably just do what you do, right, and just enjoy it, and just don't
and like no, like I'm just whatever you're comfortable losing, like just bet it, like that's
fine. like Powers when he throws the darts at the dartboard. I should just do that, and that's how I should make my
I personally don't. That strategy would be a lot. You like Chris doesn't listen to this, doesn't matter. Like you can't hit a first round leader betting one fucking guy. Like you need to bet like 6. Like that. So like I feel like the dartboard should be like 6 different like 4 different first round leader cards. That will probably
that'd be more fun. Yeah,
that would be more fun. So I'm down with that.
My worst one now is that like I will make a bunch of picks and then the tee times will come out and 4 of them are in the afternoon and I'm like, oh fuck, like I've got to revisit this.
Yeah, so like it's good to bet in the morning, but like there's a decent amount of times where like
I've definitely spread it out more now. Like this week I loved Wise and Kuchar first round leader and they're both the afternoon.
They're in their afternoon.
I'm not going to knock them out. Like but that was the reason I put Grillo in. Like I needed someone from the morning wave.
But some long shots I like. I invented Lee Hodges. Okay, like Lee Hodges is like my guy. Like I ride him up top 40 every single week. He cashes every single week. I play him at DraftKings every single week because he's so consistent and he's a great ball striker. And like he's not going to win, but like he could totally finish T13. So Lee Hodges, I'm playing again. Top 20, top 40, DraftKings, maybe first round leader. He
is a first round leader merchant.
Sure. I don't know if he's ever been a first round leader. Lee Hodges, first round leader. I like him just in general. And someone I'm going to shout out House on this one, Justin Suh. Justin, or is Justin Suh the guy that was in contention at the Wyndham? That one here?
No, that's John Huh. Justin Suh.
I like John Huh.
Yeah, Justin Suh is the corner.
House pointed out, like, he really does his best work on shorter courses. His only PGA Tour victory is here. Yeah. He won in like 2012. Like, okay, whatever, it's 10 years ago. Like, who cares? But yeah, he does well on short courses. He plays well here. John Huh, DraftKings, top 20, top 40, maybe first round leader. Probably not going to win, but I like that play. Do you like any longer shots this week?
Well, Lee Hodges has been a leader after round 1. He shot 62 at the Amex in January.
Boom.
So
yeah,
there you go.
I remember that. Yeah.
And first round lead at TPC Colorado in the Corn Ferry. Longer shots in terms of outrights. I do like Garrett Higo for all the reasons I just sort of listed. Like his ball striking was unbelievable last week. Like for a guy that basically relies on his driver, he was actually 3rd in greens in regulation. which is a really good sign. And he was 21st in driving accuracy, which you just don't see for a player like him. So I really like that. And I also thought Hayden Buckley was quite interesting. Like he's a guy that I got him completely wrong. Like I thought Hayden Buckley when he first came out was like this big hitting guy that was just gonna do like a Cameron Champ but then even Cameron Champ like is profiled as this big hitting guy that kind of wins on these different courses. So you look at Hayden Buckley, 19th, 20th, and 5th his last 3 starts. In great form. I'm pretty sure he had a really good finish at the Sony last year, which is like pretty similar to this, right?
What's his price this week?
I think it was like 70 to 1, 80 to 1. 80 to 1 on DraftKings. So
yeah, I like that play. He's been playing well.
Yeah, I think
I like that. I don't know if I'm like just overreacting to just like how golf. But I don't know. Like I feel like more and more ever like a long shot like make great sense, but like I genuinely like do not know if they can win. And like I think they're like a great like top 20, top 40 like betted with the each way. But do you feel like that more and more like just with the run that has been going on? Like there, like I talked about this with Steve. I'm not gonna try and do it off the top of my head, but like the past PGA Tour season, there were like probably like 4 or 5 like at like long shots like 71 or higher that won. Like it's just crazy.
It's definitely not like it used to be. Like I think there's because there's so much. I don't know if it's like because there's so much more money involved in every event, and there's so many more FedEx Cup points in all of these events that like they just take it a little bit more seriously, or the depth has got worse, or whatever it is. I don't really know. But like for someone like Hayden Buckley, right? Like he won the Lecom Suncoast Classic on Corn Ferry, which everyone kind of alludes to on these coastal events. He's already had like 4th at the Sanderson, 8th at the Shriners last year. He was 14th at the US Open. I'm pretty sure he was maybe first round leader there, or definitely up there. 5th at the Zozo is a great result. Then you go back 13th at the Corrales, 12th at the Sony Open. Like they're 2 events that I really like to see. So do I see Hayden Buckley winning? Probably not. He's probably like
I like it. Like I really like Buckley. Like the case you made, like really like checks out. Like I'm playing him in DraftKings. Like I'm gonna. I'd like a first round leader. What is he going on morning or afternoon? What do we think about Hey Buck first round leader?
He's going in the morning, I think, because I'm pretty sure he's going one of the guys that I've already bet, and I was like, he will end up being the first round leader in the same group that I've.
If we don't hit a first round leader this week, like I'll be upset.
If we don't hit first round leader, I would just cry. Like
like I really like I say this every week. Like I really feel like this could be the week for a first round leader.
I have tipped Grayson Sigg for first round leader, and he's playing with Hayden Buckley at 7:06 a.m.
Yeah.
So
I see this is like if we're betting a little bit more longer shots first round leader, like we might not, get to the Grios and the Hoagies. I say Hoagies out first round leader because he was just first round leader.
Yeah.
At the Shriners. So we're out on Hoagie first round leader. Grio, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I'm also out on Dietrich first round leader. I don't know if he's a first round leader guy. I don't think he is. I think that coming from Bermuda, I think he probably fires like a -5, -6 round one. I don't think he has that 61 in him. I think he's a more consistent player, like shoot 66 every day and win. So I'm out on those 2 first round leader, but some of those longer shots I like.
Do you know who I like? You mentioned like top 40s and things, right? Chad Ramey. Do you remember when everyone really wanted Chad Ramey to be a thing? And
I'm pretty sure I played Chad Ramey last week. I was
he missed the cut last
week.
He shot a second round 67. And you go to the Zozo, shot a second round 67. At the Shriners, he was 6th at the halfway stage. This guy's 400 to 1. This is a guy that people were betting at like 50 to 1 last year.
And he won Corrales.
Won Corrales.
Like, won Corrales. Pass Powell. No, like literally PGA tout. But like bet him like 400 to 1. I think at Shriners or one event this fall season. And then last week I was like kind of like, like I'm down, like pass Powell. I'm like, that's the thing about like these golf players, like anytime that if you win on like a second tier event, Puerto Rico, Corrales, like here, like you're just pass Powell guy. Like you're just always gonna be like, they could like, like they could do it again. Like, so it's tough.
He's won Corrales. He's finished second in the Mexico event on the Corn Ferry Tour, which is Paspalum, and he's finished fifth at the Puerto Rico Open, which is Paspalum. So just bet
Paspalum King.
Just bet Chad Ramey at the Paspalum, who's 400 to 1 this week, and I don't know what he is for a top 40, but it's going to be pretty decent.
Well, it was a great pod. I want you to go to bed because it is midnight.
11 o'clock.
Oh, it's 11. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm not usually up podding at 11.
No, and I shouldn't be really either.
Yeah.
But like
and we want, things to be good with you and Shannon. And I got some steak waiting for me, upstairs. But really productive podcast. We cover the World Cup. We covered our outright bets. We covered the first round leader market. I don't know really what else you could want from TIB this week.
What does anyone want? I mean, like I've literally
truly, like I don't know.
I've shit on the DP World Tour at the start of the show, which is my thing. I've told you that like we're going to see some Green Street hooligans at the World Cup, even in the winter. I've told you that Garrett Higo is going to first round lead and win. Yes. Chad Ramey is going to be top 40. I mean,
we gave out so much great information. I cannot wait. Not really. Houston will be fine next week. RSM probably be a shitty field, but. It's just I want everyone to know, like I'm done. Like I have to, I'm done. Like I need to write. I gotta write my articles now. Like just, it's fine. Crocodile tears. No one cares. Like it doesn't matter. But again, it's tough being in the golf content business. But appreciate everyone who checked out the pod. Check out Tom on Odds Checker, Lost for Words pod. Just top bloke overall, and I'm looking forward to beating you in the World Cup. It should be an absolutely wait. So what do you make the line between Europe against US in their match?
What in England versus in the World Cup?
Yeah. England versus US.
Oh, we should be like -200. Like
okay, that's what I was thinking.
But we won't win. We will just end up drawing because we suck as a nation. Like
okay, sweet.
So yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be one of those like friendly fire ones where there's going to be this banter between England and America, and we're going to be disappointing. But if anyone is looking for optimism, I'm probably the worst person in the world. I'm the most pessimistic person in nature. So
you're England -200.
England -200
will be the line. That will be the line.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sweet. We'll see everyone next week for Houston. I'm having Scott on. And everyone have a great night.